Hello YouTube, today we've got some more spoilers. Today's spoilers is Modern Horizon. We released D&D spoilers a few moments ago, so this is really nice to have them all coming up soon. I think Modern Horizons 2 spoilers are coming in like full force next week? I might be wrong with this. I think it's like next week from the airing of this video, or however, I don't know when I'll upload this, but soon, alright? Soon. Anyways, we got some pretty spicy stuff. Really psyched for some of the D&D stuff. Right now, a little more psyched for the Modern Horizons 2 stuff. Generally, things in the more Eternal formats have more... Not saying that stuff in D&D won't get Eternalized, but in the Eternal format specific / particular related items, those will generally be playable in EDH. Anyways, before I mess up something, let's get into the review. So our first card here is Brainstone. For 1 generic, 2 in a tap, sacrifice Brainstone, draw 3 cards, and put 2 cards from your hand on the top of your library in any order. Neat. I think they've been doing this for a while now, but like, they've done it with other spells too, but like, they've definitely making spells more generic so that other colors can use them just in a very weird way. They're a little less efficient because they're out of color, but they have been making them generally available, which means colors like white could get something particularly cool and useful perhaps in certain decks. So this is definitely pretty cool. I think it won't be too good just because you want to play blue for Brainstorm, and have several effects. Building your deck around 1 Brainstone, probably not the best, but maybe this has like some shell for it. I think it's more particular to like a modern shell, so I don't know how good it'll be, but it could be cool. Maybe like a it does look like a Bailet kind of. Hey, if you guys watch any Berserk, does this look like a Bailet to you? It reminds me of one. Sacrifice your brand, draw 3 cards, then put and gain godlike power. Yeah, this is very close to Bailet, and I think there's an argument to be had to making like a Berserk style deck in EDH. So this is cool. It is also important to note that this actually becomes super cool with something like a Lurrus. If you play like a Lurrus value or Lurrus, I don't know what you'd play in EDH, but like this with Lurrus means you just Brainstorm every turn, like draw 3 cards every turn. I don't know if there's any like cantrip. I guess just play a bunch of lands. Yeah, Lurrus becomes interesting. I gotta definitely pick myself up a copy of Lurrus before he gets way out of hand, because you know everyone and their moms are playing Lurrus. So yeah, get Lurrus, guys, before this stuff gets crazy. All right, next up, let's look at our next card. Next card is Counterspell. This is, I would like to say, been a long time coming. People have been wanting Counterspell in modern format for a while, and I don't think it's been particularly bad in modern, or would have been bad in modern. I'm actually curious, would something like Arcane Denial be played modern? I doubt it would, right? It seems to me that'd be like the blue path, the exile somewhat. If you want like a cheap Counterspell, you'd play like an Arcane Denial. Like, maybe that would be like an interesting place for modern to have that in there, but I don't know. This is Counterspell. It's generally better. Blue, a little harder in colors, but this means it can be played in mostly blue decks. That way you don't have to fear decks being super greedy in the mana base. Although I guess the thing about modern is everyone has fetchlands, so it's really not going to matter too much. Just being 2 mana basically means, yeah, if you're playing against blue, you better run. Although I don't see this being particularly like damaging in the format. I think it'll be cool because I think blue hasn't had too much in the format as of late. There has been some like Esper decks, I think, and then there's been some blue-black control decks, but this is definitely going to be super helpful for those decks, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Of course, we've had this in every other format. Yeah, decent card. This is like supreme blue removal here. When are they going to print the colorless Counterspell? I'm waiting for it. Geez, talking about counterspells, I've been playing Banatithe as a 4 of in my best of 1 mono white deck, and honestly, I have to say I like it. Like, I think it fits the build nicely for like a 1 mana removal spell. Although it is kind of weird, and there are times where you can actually end up getting people later in the game. But having that ability to attack someone by 1 once after countering their first spell, it definitely does feel like it's worth a slot. So yeah, Counterspell's very interesting. I think it provides very interesting game mechanic, and glad to see some modern. We'll be intrigued to see what other formats this potentially could break itself into. But yeah, Modern Horizon's looking pretty so far. Next up we have, okay, Diamond Lion. I kid you not, 2 generic for an artifact creature cat with Discard your hand, sacrifice Diamond Lion, add 3 mana of any color, activate only as an instant. Activate only as an instant. Can you imagine that? Like, I don't particularly get this either, right? Like, this means you can only activate it in your main phase. You can only activate it on your, no, sorry, not your main phase. Everything but your main phase. So, like, your upkeep, your end step. I don't know what the exact wording for this. This is, like, relatively new wording. It most likely reminds everyone of Lion's Eye Diamond, but this one having that restriction is particularly interesting. Activate this as a mana source. I'm interested to seeing if that just means like you can use this as a mana source and it's just sort of like a meme back to the old wording. I'm actually super curious. You could activate it as a mana ability, then you would be able to use it to cast a spell from your hand and discard it. As an instant means you get rid of your whole hand and you can't funk with it. Oh, okay. So you have to get rid of your whole hand. Activate it only as an instant. Alright, so I'm reading this, what this person said. It says, what does it mean activate only as an instant? Is this a joke, or is this some rare case where sacrificing this as a mana source can supersede priority and that matters somehow? Still cool, I'm totally down for this almost functional reprints of old reserved list cards. If you could activate it as a mana ability, then you would be able to use it to cast a spell from your hand as you discard. As an instant, it means you have to get rid of your whole hand and you can't funk with it. Interesting. So you will actually have to dump your hand. I mean, okay, I guess it goes without saying you can't activate it as an instant, like you would like an artifact that isn't a creature, because this is a creature, so it has to wait a turn before you can tap it. So that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know if this is like good enough for like EDH, but modern, I don't know what deck would want this. I'm definitely a combo deck, of course, but like having to wait a turn, maybe it's like too weak. Oh, I don't know. It's gonna be fun though. Gorgeous art. Gorgeous art. I think, yeah, this is like one of those cards you definitely could put in Loris again. You just play everything from your graveyard anyways. Although I feel like Loris as a commander is just going to be super, super, super greedy with the graveyard, and people will just exile it every time they can. That'll be scary if I do end up making a Loris deck. Anyways, yeah, not much to say about this card. Not much to say about this card. I think we'll go on to the next card here, which is still pretty interesting. Actually, I think we'll save the best for last. Actually, we're not going on the card that I was thinking about. We'll go on the other card, which is another white duder. Another white duder. I'm down for that. At the 3 mana spot though, and usually white decks who are more creature inclined will generally have that 3 mana spot incredibly crunched because there's just so many. There's Skyclave Apparition, there's Elite Spellbinder, there's just so many 3 mana spells at 3 in white that are just super strong, and I'm interested to see how this will play out against those, how it competes. So this is Sanctum Prelate, 1 in a white and a white. As a Sanctum Prelate enters battlefield, you choose a number. Non-creature spells of the chosen number can't be cast. So it's like a counterspell on a creature, sort of. If you've played Meddling Mage, this is kind of like a Meddling Mage, except instead of just non-land card, I think Meddling Mage says, this is just a non-creature card. So it plays well with things that puts creatures into play still, and just casting creatures is fine. It just really hoses those control decks and stops those. It's essentially like a white counter, kind of. Think about it in a weird way. Don't think about it too much, because it still saves their hand, and they just have to remove this, and they can freely cast their other spells. This is a neat card to have modern. I don't know what deck would want this. I mean, of course, D&T and stuff like that, but like that 3 mana spot though. That 3 mana spot. Jeez Louise. Would the guy Al want this? Probably not. Right, we have Skyclave. Ah, gosh. If this should definitely be an historic. Like, come on. One time. If this goes in historic, this is mono white taxes is gonna be so good. So good. Actually, no. This is I keep forgetting. This is at the 3 mana spot. Everyone and their moms has a card at 3 mana in white. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I feel like it's just not gonna be played as much as I would like it to, which is unfortunate because it's got this nice promo art. It happens. But whatever. All right. Next up, we have the best for last. And geez, if you guys stayed around this long just to watch this video, although it's about 10 minutes in, thank you for watching. But this card is the juiciest. Maybe I'll put this first because everyone else is gonna want to know about this card. because it's just so spicy. It's so good. I guess, okay. Let me bring it up. So I'll put this first. I'll put this first in the video because I think people will want to know about this card foremost because it's so interesting. And so just having people wait to get to this card, or maybe if they see this video as a review, they'll know eventually I'll get to it. Anyways, they maybe skip to it. So who knows what I'll do in the video with this. Anyways, next card is Urzas Saga, an enchantment land called Urzas Saga. It has Urzas Saga gains add 1 colorless. It also has Urzas Saga gains 2 and create a 0/0 colorless construct token that gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. So it's a land that creates an artifact at the 2nd chapter. But on the 3rd chapter, search your library for an artifact card with mana cost 0 or 1, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. So this means you can't get like artifact lands, you can't get things that cost 0 like Lotus Bloom or don't have a mana cost. So Soul Ring is probably your best bet. Maybe a Mana Vault, maybe a Pithing Needle. Like this card is juice. Of course you go down 1 land after the 3rd saga, but if you're getting Soul Ring or Mana Vault, this thing is like totally just netting you a mana or 2, right? If you get the Mana Vault. This is a nice card. This is so if you get something like, even like a 0 cost thing, get like a Mox, I guess. This is juice. This card is, I think, a staple, just EDH staple, which is unfortunate too because it's common, right? Or not common, it's rare. It's not mythic rare, but geez, and it's not gonna have a limited print run, I don't think either. So that's gonna be good news. Yeah, this is a decent card, like really good. every two minus color decks, 1 color deck and 2 color deck, like getting your Soul Ring. This means, so you play this turn 1, then turn 2. It's got some time to ramp, but like if you're playing like a 4 or 5 mana commander, like place turn 1, you get a mana, then you play this, and you have 2 mana on turn 2. Then turn 3, you have 4 mana if you get Soul Ring, 5 if you have like a Mana Vault. So like this is definitely going to my Vanguard deck. This is adorable. This is amazing. But does it go in an Urza deck? It creates a artifact and it gets an artifact for you. I guess it could be useful. Also, fun fact is because the saga happens after you draw, you can use it to pay for the 2nd ability before it gets sacrificed. So cool card. This is EDH staple instantly. Curious how it plays in modern, which kind of unfortunate because I was thinking like, oh, this isn't supposed to be an EDH set, but of course every set's an EDH set, but like now EDH players have to compete for this card because it's so good, right? So they have 2 different audiences pulling for this, which isn't bad, but like I just don't want it to be so high, right? This is cool. This is definitely sick. Anyways, what do you guys think about this card? Is this just straight juice? Of course it's straight juice. I don't know why I'm asking. Definitely looking for this card, and should go in every 2 or 1 color deck. So that'll be interesting. Anyways, can we get this with Lurrus? Wait. I don't even know what Lurrus says. I just know it returns things from graveyard. Lurrus of the Dream Den. Lurrus of the Dream Den says you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less. Converted mana cost. This doesn't have a mana cost. Wait a minute. This doesn't have a mana cost, so you can't get it with Lurrus. Okay, so you don't even cast this. It's a land, so you just play it. That's unfortunate. Anyway, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe not too much in modern because you can't like abuse it too much, but who knows? I'm probably gonna bite the bullet on that. It's probably not gonna age too well. But anyways, what do you guys think about these cards? Are they straight gas? I'm thinking they are. Urzas Saga, immediate staple. Nice, interesting card. I'm super curious why they had like only revealed these cards, like what makes them reveal these cards, because like the Brainstone doesn't seem too crazy at first glance because we have blue as one of the more popular colors, and if you're playing this for like a modern deck, what's the purpose of having an artifact that copies Brainstorm? I guess because Brainstorm isn't legal in modern, of course, so it's like maybe they're just testing the waters, like how close they can get to Brainstorm without getting Brainstorm. Maybe that's the way to think about it. Diamond Lion, like these are very obvious because these are only played in EDH, like very obvious appeals to EDH players. Anyways, that's it. I gotta stop blabbing. What do you guys think about these cards? Are they good? Are they nice? What about the art from Diamond Lion? Does it look like epic? I don't know. I think it does. But yeah, peace out.